Hey YouTube fam, you're welcome to my channel. So my braids were about a month old, and instead of taking them down as I would normally do, I decided to get some more wear out of them by renewing the front of the braids. So in this video I'm going to walk you through the whole process from washing the braids, my hair, my scalp, and then taking down the braids at the front and redoing them. So please stay tuned and I hope you enjoy the video. So the first thing that I do is hop in the shower and make sure that I get the braids thoroughly wet, especially at the base. I really get them drenched with water, and then I start to apply the shampoo, focusing on the scalp as usual, and going down a little bit. Especially I make sure that I cover the area where my hair ends. I'm not so interested in washing the extensions themselves, so wherever I know my hair is not, like where I know my hair ends, I'm gonna not really bother so much about getting the shampoo on there. But obviously as you're washing the scalp and the water is running down the extensions, everything's eventually gonna get washed, right? But you make sure you really focus on your scalp. And for me, especially at this point, my scalp was already getting itchy, so I really wanted to make sure that I cleaned it thoroughly. So it's so easy when you're washing your braids, because the hair is already sectioned. It makes it so easy to wash without you're not scared that your hair is gonna get tangled or whatever. But you're still very careful. You don't want to cause any unnecessary breakage by being too harsh. So after applying, I do 2 rounds of shampoo. So after rinsing it out, I go in with another milder shampoo. I mostly use my Nizora shampoo because I do have some dryness of the scalp. I don't know if it's dryness or dandruff. So I always make sure that I use my Nizora shampoo first, and then I go in the second time with a milder shampoo. That's the TGIN shampoo, which I love so much because it smells really good. Yeah, so by this time my hair is really clean, so I'm just like, it's just to really get the final wash. And then I make sure that I rinse the extensions all the way down, and then squeeze them the way you would squeeze out clothing when you wash. So until a few years ago, I was one of those people that would never wash their hair in extensions. So it was like, if it's old, take them down. If your scalp is dirty, take them down. Why would you wash extensions, But I realized that you can actually wash them and it dries out like real fast. I rarely have to use an air dryer to dry the braids. I just, after putting this towel on my head, to get rid of the drip, drip, drip. After that, I just let it fall to my back, and that's it. It gets dry after a few hours. All the braids get dry, and they don't even get that frizzy. You just have to be careful how you wash them, okay? All right, so it's a few hours later, about 2 to 3 hours, and my hair is completely dry all the way down to the roots, and my scalp feels so clean. Oh, so I'm just gonna take down a few braids in the front, and then I'm going to redo those ones so that we give our braids a new look. Taking them down, obviously I'm not going to show you the whole process. I had to cut down some of them, but at this point I had realized that I didn't have enough extensions to redo the front of the hair. So some of these extensions I'm gonna have to reuse, which means taking them down from the ends. Ugh. So I have taken down I've removed all the extensions, and now I'm just trying to detangle my hair at the roots. You know how when you take out a protective style, you always have that build up and matted hair at the base of of your plaits or whatever. Obviously in my case I don't have that much build up because I already washed it, hopefully, and washed out most of the build up, but the hair is still matted at the roots. And when you're detangling, you just don't want to take a comb and start combing through and jagging off your hair as you do that. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you properly detangle it and free up that matted hair before you start to comb, right? And what helps me in this process, just a little tip, is using oil at that where the hair is matted, and that oil helps me. It serves as sort of a lubricant to help you to part the matted hair, part the matted strands away from each other and free up the hair That way when you comb it, it don't have unnecessary breakage, right? Obviously there's gonna be some hair coming loose from maybe, I think mostly shed hairs that was held there while you had the style installed, but you don't want to, I mean, doing it this way and being careful how you do it also minimizes breakage. All right, so just a little tip, I don't normally use a detangler for this step, just oil, because I mean I don't want to start putting so much product in my hair. And you know, recently I've just started trusting oil more in detangling my 4C hair as opposed to detanglers, and you know, the oil is working so much better for me. Okay, just a little tip I wanted to share on how I detangle and reduce matting. All right, so that's the hair that comes off, I guess, shed hair from the detangling process. Okay, so at the end of the detangling section, we can part our hair now freely and use a comb to comb it out, because we know we've gotten rid of the matted hairs. And so now we are going to moisturize and begin braiding. You saw me spritz my aloe juice. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm a firm believer in aloe juice as my base in moisturizing. And after that, I go in with a moisturizing cream, work it into my strands, massage it, make sure that all the strands get equal love. And then I go in with my whipped shea butter, which is for obviously sealing in the moisture and ensuring that my hair stays moisturized for long, right? While I have my braids on, I would usually moisturize about, I don't know, 2 times. No, I'm not. Once a week. At least once a week. Yeah. And you know, just to make sure that you're not neglecting your hair and you're trying to give the hair underneath the extension some love. Yeah. But it's important when you're first doing the initial installation to make sure that the hair is properly moisturized. So for this renewal, I decided to do much larger braids in the front because, one, I was tired and I didn't want to waste so much time trying to do small braids. And also, if you watched my initial installation video, you would have seen that my method was, you know, braid the hair down quite a lot before you start adding the extensions. And I found that method, quite frankly, to be a little bit tricky, because when you have to braid your hair all the way down, then when adding hair extensions, you have to be very strategic so that you don't have a braid that looks thin at the base and then all of a sudden starts looking big. I mean, it's just a lot of work. I think I like the method where you start adding extensions almost immediately, and that's what I'm going to do here. And probably the next time that I do knotless braid, that's how I'm going to do it, right? So you divide your hair into 3 sections, as you see me do here. You braid 1 time, right? And then you hold the hair with your index finger and your thumb. You add extensions, braid once, and then hold the next piece of hair on that same thumb, using that same thumb and middle finger, and index finger, sorry. Add the next extension, braid it down a little bit further, and then you add the last piece. So I add extensions 3 times. Alright guys, I know that I'm not very good at explaining the steps. You know, it's not that easy for me. So I decided to really slow down the video so you could see what I'm doing. I hope it helps if there's anybody who wanted to like really see how I do it. I know that when I did the last installation video, someone mentioned in the comments that they were trying to see what I did, but that it was too fast. So I've slowed it down a lot, and I hope that you can see clearly what I'm doing. All right. Yeah, so when I got to this line, I was like, should I just do 1 braid on this whole big section of hair? I was really lazy, but you know, I also didn't want to exaggerate the whole thing because it was probably going to look really, I don't know, scanty. So I decided to part this into two, that line, even though it's too big for one braid, but also not big enough for two braids, you know, that kind of thing. But you know, I still went ahead and did two braids on that line. And we're almost done. Look at this braids. 1 month old where? Where? You mean these 3-day-old braids? Oh my gosh. Anyway, we still have to use these bendy rollers to put some curls in the hair because we just want to change the look completely. You know, reinvent the hairstyle and make it look like it's something that I just did all over. You know what I mean? Okay. So do let me know in the comment section if you would, you know, renew your braids to get some more wear out of them. How long do you keep your braids in? You know, I'm curious because I typically keep my braids in for about a month and maybe 2-3 weeks depending. But during that time, I'll always wash them at least once. I may not renew the front always, but I know that if I have them in for a month, 3 weeks, that they'll be washed at least at the 3 to 4 week mark, you know. So do let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate your support, coming back each time to watch my videos and, you know, to share in what I'm putting out here on YouTube. Thank you so much for coming back and for supporting my channel. I really appreciate you guys, okay? After letting the water dry out and cool down, it's the moment of truth. Did the curls form or did they not form? What's the verdict? The curls were popping. They were popping indeed, guys. I love this so much. And I felt really happy with the results. Exactly how I intended for them to be. Ooh la la. Ooh la la, girl.